News at 1. Goodbye from me on BBC One. We join the BBC's news teams wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Hello, I'm Annabelle Tiffin. Welcome to North West Today. The headlines this Thursday lunchtime. The North-South dental divide. Children in Blackburn are 4 times more likely to suffer tooth decay.
Also with us in the studio, Dr Khalid, who is a dentist at the Bankview Smile Studios in Blackburn. Good morning.
Good morning.
Whenever we do stories about teeth, often with Darwin doesn't really come out quite well. Why in the borough are particularly our children's teeth so bad?
I think you're right. It's somewhat shaming for the profession, and I think I agree with a lot of what Leonora said, that it's most likely that there's a very direct link with social deprivation and dental health, and I think that that's the key driver here. And I think because the problem is so big, trying to tackle it is going to take a multi-agency approach and an integrated approach.
So there's no easy answer, but
No.
in case of, I put the question to Leonora, that you got to make sure that your little ones are brushing their teeth. Because, you know, it's all right to say, oh yeah, I've done it, but what the advice is, your little ones don't brush their teeth for at least 2 minutes.
No, yes. I think that from a factual point of view, that's true. I think from a practical and a pragmatic point of view, I think I agree with Leonora. I'm a father of 2 as well. Mine are a little bit older now, but when they were younger, trying to get them to sit still for 2 minutes was difficult, never mind brushing their teeth. I think that the key point here is supervision, and I think you've hit the nail on the head. Rather than taking their word for it, I think supervising the fact they're doing it. You're a role model as a parent, so I think obviously if you do it yourself, when your kids are young, often they'll just do whatever you do, and if you do it and they do it with you and you encourage that, I think that again what Leonora said, that good and bad habits both start at a young age.
When is the okay age for children to actually visit the dentist?
That's a very good question, and the correct answer is 6 months.
Right.
As early as that. Essentially, whenever they get their first tooth usually arrives at 6 months. They get their full set of 20 by the age of 2.5. And I think that, as Leonora said before, that Public Health England and the Paediatric Society are trying to get that message across. I think that it's still not getting there. Even people like us who are in the know find that surprising.
Okay, thanks for joining us this morning. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure.
Dr Khalid there from Blackburn. It's 26 minutes after 8.
So tell us how worrying are the findings of this study as regards Blackburn and Darwin?
It's very worrying to hear of such poor figures. The main reason is it doesn't come as a surprise to people who work in the area. The concern really is that it's almost a picture of 2 extremes, because the national picture is very positive. It's positive in the sense that the number of decayed, missing and failed teeth in young children is actually falling. The issue for us is that there seems to be a north-south divide, and areas like Blackburn with Darwin, there's been 7 other areas out of 13 that have been highlighted to be the worst in the country. And the unfortunate situation for us is that 7 of those are in the northwest, and Blackburn with Darwin is amongst those.
One of the reasons that it's suggested is that it's the people in this part of the world, in Lancashire, have got not the same access to NHS dentistry. Is that a valid concern?
The interesting point here is that I think access is just one aspect. I think that the local health authority, to be fair to them, they have done extremely well of late. So anyone in the area who requires emergency dental services or regular routine dental services, there is spare capacity and there is service provision locally, and most people can get in within a few weeks. The main issue, I think, especially when it comes to children under the age of 5, is that it's the education, especially among young mums, to try and bring the children in very early. Whenever I tell people that it's actually from the age of 6 months that children should be seen by a dentist and have a dental checkup, most people are shocked by that. And most of them, they think of attending the dentist around the same time that they start reception, which is far too late. And the reason for that is that the first tooth comes out at 6 months, and they have their full set of 20 baby teeth by the age of 2.5. So 4.5, 5 years old is far too late.
So in a nutshell, what you're saying is it's not necessarily down to lack of access to NHS dentistry, it is down to the fact that people are poorly educated about this.
I think so. I think that the two things go hand in hand. It's an education element and an access element. Again, I state that I only have figures for Blackburn with Darwen. The other 6 northwest areas like Blackpool, Rochdale, Oldham, Wakefield, Salford and Bolton. Now, I can't speak for those areas. There could be an access issue as well as an education issue, but I do think the two things go hand in hand.
So that's obviously the education thing is a key point.
I think so. Yeah.
And just a couple more points. Just tell us how this study. You weren't surprised by it then. What can you do as a dentist now? I mean, is it about education from your point of view, or is it what can you do as one dentist sort of thing?
That's a very good question, and I think you're right that the profession as a whole has been working really hard. There's lots of things that we're already doing, and I have a dual role to play in actual fact. I'm the chairman of a charity as well, which is an educational charity, Abu Hanifa Foundation, and AHF is based within Blackburn, and with the shortage that we're having with dental public health and community dental services, charities like ours are also taking up some of that slack, and we are doing some educating. We ourselves held health fair just a few weeks ago. We had more than 50 exhibitors, and dental health featured heavily within that in order to try and educate the local community in good thought control, good diet, healthy diet, balanced diet, etc., and the things that they should be doing at home. So I think that everyone is doing their part. We're already doing a lot. Of course, there's always much more that we can do, and it doesn't come as a surprise only because the Child Dental Health Survey is done every 10 years, and the pattern over the last few surveys has always been that Blackburn with Darwen and towns like ours in the northwest have always performed very poorly.
The final point, if I may, just tell me what you see happening, what's the best case, worst case scenario in 10 years' time when the next study comes out, if things go to plan or don't go to plan?
Okay, I think if we start with the worst case scenario, if things don't change, and I think that the one thing that needs to happen is an integrated multi-agency approach, because we all know that one of the main links to poor dental health is social economic status and the poor levels that we have in the area. So we know that one particular agency, i.e. the dentists or the dental health educators, are not going to be able to fix this problem by themselves. And I think unless we have this integrated, collaborated approach, we're going to struggle. And I think that the worst case scenario is things don't get better and possibly even get worse. However, on the plus side of things, I think if we do, and there's lots and lots of good campaigns. I was involved with a meeting just a few weeks ago where in this area we've had campaigns like Stop the Rot, Smile for Life, Starting Well, focusing on readiness for young children for school, and also people like the health visitors and the other healthcare professionals. Of course, we all have a part to play, and all of the systemic health and dental health are integrated and very heavily linked. So I think if we were to get the agencies working well together, and possibly a little bit of extra funding, of course, will always be of help, then I think that we can start to turn the corner like the national picture. The national picture is that things are getting better, and I think that the areas that are lagging, like the northwest, I think we should be able to catch up. We've got the people to do it. We're here to work. We're ready to work. We're happy to help. And the most important thing is NHS dentistry is free. It's still one of those areas where people can have access. We just need to let the public know that we're here for them, and they need to engage with us as soon as they can.
All right, brilliant. Thank you very much for doing this, Khalid. Much appreciated at short notice. I'm sorry you had a bit of a fast getting in and everything, but
that's okay.
that is great. I'll have to quickly dash now and cobble this together for our lunchtime bulletin in a little minute 30 piece. But thank you again for your time. Much appreciated.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.